We will now call our planning board meeting to order. At this time, I will do the roll call for attendance. Board members, when you hear your name, please say present or raise your hand. William Roach. Joe Towns. Here. Tamara Lipscomb here. Thomas Thompson.
Present.
James Motley.
Here.
Kia Mills. Present. And Charles Fagg.
Here.
All right, can I entertain a motion for someone to adopt our agenda for February 18th, 2026?
So moved.
Okay, it's been moved in second. Can I get a vote? All in favor? Aye. No opposers? Okay. Can I entertain a motion for the approval of our minutes for our January 21st, 2026 meeting?
There needs to be a minor correction made to the minutes.
Okay.
In there, the person that spoke from Mount Jubilee, Jesse Meador, name spelled Jessie. Last name is spelled Meador. Meador, not Matter.
Okay. All right. Was someone move approve with the necessary corrections?
So move.
Okay.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Here are no opposers. All right. We will get down to the items for consideration. Consideration of a text amendment request amending the special use permit standards for shopping centers to include event centers and vocational non-academic schools as new permitted uses, docket number T 2026-01. Good evening, Drew.
Thank you. Staff is petitioning to amend, as you stated, Article 5, Section 3, Special Uses of the Reidsville zoning ordinance to amend the special use permit requirements for shopping centers. This amendment will add event centers and vocational non-academic schools as permitted uses in the special use permit requirements for shopping centers. You might remember we did something similar with the same shopping center standards last year to add uses. So this is the same thing, we're just adding these uses. Currently, the ordinance does not include such uses within the shopping center special use permit standards. However, they are not explicitly excluded. Considering the nature of the activities that would occur within these types of establishments, the planning staff does not feel that this amendment would create any conflicts or otherwise unharmonious conditions with the other currently existing allowable uses for shopping centers. In other districts throughout the city, event centers and vocational schools are generally located in close proximity to retail and personal service uses, such as those allowed within shopping centers. This change will help to expand entertainment and training opportunities throughout the city and encourage growth in Reidsville's established commercial areas. The planning staff have researched the ordinances of numerous other cities in the Piedmont Triad area, similar to as was found for the previous amendment. No other municipality requires a special use permit for shopping center development. Furthermore, event centers and vocational schools are generally allowed in all commercial zoning districts, with the exception occasionally of neighborhood business districts. By allowing such establishments and shopping centers, we are further aligning our development standards with those of other regional municipalities, such as Burlington, Greensboro, Mebane, and Eden, as well as a handful of counties, encouraging growth throughout Reidsville's established commercial districts again. This text amendment request is consistent with the Reidsville Land Development Plan under goal number 2 for a strong local economy. There is a considerable need for commercial development, including redevelopment, specifically restaurants, retail, entertainment venues, and attractions throughout Reidsville. This amendment aligns with goal number 2 by removing regulatory barriers for commercial development and assists in addressing the need for a more diverse economy. By allowing event centers and vocational schools in all shopping centers where special use permits are required or existing, we are able to enhance our entertainment and training opportunities throughout the city while making development in our established districts more attractive to both developers and residents. And the planning staff does recommend the adoption of the proposed text amendment. You will also find in there a copy of the ordinance that will, upon your recommendation, be presented to council. It outlines all of the uses that are allowed in shopping centers, and you'll see where the 2 uses discussed tonight have been added. And I'll take any questions you have on the item.
Any idea why Reidsville is the only one that requires a special use permit?
I do not know what the reasoning is behind that. I know it's been in place for a very long time. If I had to make an assumption, I would say that at some point in our past, we wanted to focus on local, smaller businesses and less so on shopping center, big box development, which is why we put that special use permit in place. That's typical of a special use permit to control what goes where. So it would be my assumption we didn't want shopping centers throughout the entire city. We wanted to designate them to specific areas, and that would be why this was put in place. But it is decades old.
Will, whenever this happens, the new UDO, will that kind of render this point moot?
I do not know off the top of my head. I have not seen the uses section in its entirety. So I don't know if the special use permit will stand for shopping centers. I can tell you that this is necessary because we have a development that is ongoing. This is not development specific, but we do have a redevelopment of an existing shopping center site with an existing special use permit that would like to begin work, and they do need this to be added to be able to begin work at this site. But it is possible that if this special use permit goes away, that this will render it in effect, mute.
I'm sorry, say that again, please?
If the special use permit standard is removed under the UDO,
Yes.
this would be a moot point.
Okay.
But I don't know what that section is going to look like in its entirety. We have not reviewed it thoroughly as staff.
That was discussed though when we was looking at the UDO, wasn't it? About how all special use permits may go away.
We won't get rid of all of them. There will be some that stay, but they will not come to you for your consideration. Special use permits being quasi-judicial should go to city council directly, so that the decision-making body is only hearing evidence within the hearing, the public hearing for the item.
There's a Board of Adjustment.
They have the option of going before Board of Adjustment or council. We're moving them to go to council, was the decision that was made. Board of Adjustment will only hear variances, but that is unrelated to this text amendment tonight.
And we're not discriminating between malls and shopping centers. We're calling them all shopping centers, is that?
Yes, we don't have mall per se as a use, and the mall that you're referencing, Penrose, does have a special use permit placed on it. We had to do some digging to find it, but back in I believe it was the 80s, if I'm remembering correctly, there was reference to a special use permit established at the mall. We don't have the original document anymore, being that it's so old, but we did find reference to it in the minutes, and it was established under a special use permit for shopping centers, which necessitates this text amendment.
Any other questions?
Do you have any idea at this point exactly what the plans are that's going to be going into there?
Staff has some ideas based on discussions with the property owner and the developer contractor for the project. Those are not for me to enumerate upon, but we do have an idea of what's going in there, and this text amendment being for event centers and vocational school gives you a glimpse of what that would be. Generally speaking, it will be retail, that's my understanding, but specific businesses, I can't disclose anything that I know about specific businesses. We don't have any permits that have been pulled, so I can't share any of that information with you, unfortunately. I would urge you to reach out to the property owner or developer if you'd like further guidance on that.
I was reading through these things, and under the building permit, it says no building permit shall be issued for any building in a permitted shopping center development until a final development plan is approved by the city council. Does each individual entity in a shopping center have to get a building permit? I mean, like each thing that's in there?
Business.
Well, it's
Business.
It was
yeah.
confusing.
That's not related to the zoning portion of that, whether a building permit is required or not. I can't speak to which businesses would be required to get one. Depends on the renovations that they're doing, what type of construction they're doing, and that is outside the purview of the planning and zoning staff. It's my understanding that there will be some extensive building permits pulled for the mall, since we are referencing the mall. But that specific statement is referring to the initial assignment of the special use permit, which doesn't apply in this case. The mall has an existing special use permit.
I was just curious, nothing.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And typically, the building permits are required for any sort of renovation or new construction that rises to the level of being structural. But I'm not a building code administrator, so I don't want to speak to that definitively. I've just been told that there will be building permits required for the work that's going on at the mall at some point. What they've done thus far hasn't required anything. And that is to say as well that this amendment applies to all shopping centers, not just the
Okay,
mall.
just
I
not
don't
the-
want us to get bogged down in the fact that we are aware of the mall project and that this amendment is to help facilitate that project. This will apply to all shopping centers. So you're thinking Food Lion on Freeway.
Right.
Food Lion on 14 or Business 29, Lowe's Shopping Center, all of those things. This will apply there. So any event center, vocational school in the future would be able to, put a business of that type in those locations as well.
Thank you for clarifying that. There are no other questions? Thank you, Drew.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Planning board discussion? Any discussion? All right. Will someone make a motion? And you can find that, Drew.
The motion to recommend the proposed text amendment T 2026-01 be approved.
Second.
It has been moved and second. If you're ready for the vote, all in favor? All opposes? Okay. Thank you. And the recommendation has been approved. All right. To my agenda. Okay, I think we are down at planning staff report. Thank you, sorry.
Might be easier if I just come back over here. Since we've added a member to our team,
That's right.
we don't have quite enough space at the table, and instead of trying to fight the microphone, I'll just come and present to you from here. So, we don't really have a lot to update you on as far as permits go, but I would like to share with you something that we'll be sharing with council over the next few days as we go through our retreat. We've touched base with developers all throughout the community for two reasons: to solicit feedback on the development process and ways that staff can improve the experience, whether that's a customer service improvement or a policy procedural improvement. Generally speaking, we received fantastic feedback. There were a few things that were noted about communication that fell on staff's shoulders that occurred during the transition for my promotion and Claudia's promotion. There were a lot of moving parts and communication wasn't always 100%. But we're working on that. But other than that, the feedback that we got was generally really positive. We've received compliments on how expeditious our process is, how clear the process is when it is explained to them by the appropriate party. There might be some information circulating in the community that makes that difficult at times, but when staff provides that information and that guidance, things go a lot smoother. So great feedback all around, where we're looking at changing some of those policies in the UDO, for some of those internal procedures that aren't reflected in writing, but generally making the process more appealing to the development community. The second part was to ask about where these developments are in the development process. And without spilling all of the tea, so to say, since we would like to present this to council in greater detail, we have confirmed with all of the active developers who are doing residential sites that they are in one way or form, shape of another, moving forward. So the upwards of 1,500 to 2,000 homes that we've talked about time and time again, in the very near future, we're looking at some development beginning on those. Yeah. So that's really all staff has. It's been a very busy month preparing for council retreat, but I did want to share that with you because I'm sure you'll hear it after tomorrow with council retreat and everything. I didn't want you to feel like you were left out of that conversation. One other thing to note, we are working with the consultant on the UDO. I know that got brought up during the text amendment. We are trying to figure out a date to do a final work session. Planning board was delegated as the steering committee. We haven't really engaged you all as the steering committee. We've had a lot of changeover on the planning board since that happened. Some of you have yet to see any portion of the UDO or participate in those discussions. We want to have a final work session. We're aiming for April 8th. I know it's difficult. We all have jobs. It will be during the day. I would like to tell you now in case you would like to be there and you need to ask for leave from your profession to be there. It will likely be 8 to 1, similar to how we operate council retreat. And it'll be a joint work session with you and with council and with staff. So I would put that on your calendar tentatively. We haven't confirmed anything with the consultant yet, but that is the date we are shooting for, even if staff has to present it to you. That's the date we're looking at right now. We haven't received all of the final chapters yet, so there are things staff has not had an opportunity to look at, but we should have those within the next week or two. And once staff has a chance to review that, we would like to send it out to you to put your eyes on it and give us some feedback. Even if you hold your feedback until that work session, we'd like to get that to you so that you can see it.
So why is it taking so long?
It's a fantastic question. Part of it is that state or Senate Bill 382 really ruffled things up for us. It's taken about a year or so to navigate that and to figure out what that means for our current ordinances and for the UDO. Our consultant has finally decided on a path forward in reference to that bill, and I think it's promising. But he's had to rework a lot of the content that you saw previously and a lot of the content that was proposed. So he's been working on that. With that being said, there have been several other communities that are dealing with the same thing we've been dealing with. So while he's reworking ours and it's been a delay on our end, communicating back and forth with him and being able to conduct review sessions and work sessions, he's dealing with the same thing in a dozen other communities that he's working with on UDOs. So it's not a Reidsville specific problem, it's a process specific problem. He's had to make these same changes for every community that he's working with, and it just takes time. But hopefully we're nearing the end. We should have those drafts of the final 3 chapters that we're missing in the next week or so. We'll have them to give to council at retreat. I don't know what form they'll be in, if they'll be complete with pictures and everything, or if they'll just have placeholders, but we'll at least have the text portion by Friday, and then hopefully completed chapters in the next week or two.
I'll say as soon as you get it, please forward it to us, because that's
Certainly.
that's a lot of reading to look through.
That's our intent, yeah. We'll provide you with at least the final chapters to start on.
I'm gonna say you might as well send it all, because
Once we
the
get a
last-
cohesive one, yeah,
'cause the
we'll
last
send you
time
everything.
This is what, 24, 23?
It's been about a year.
It was 24.
I was gonna say, I think it was the end of 24,
Mm-hmm.
and council had some sessions in 25, yeah. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
And like I said, it'll be brand new for several of you. But yeah, we'd like to get the documents to you as we receive them, so you might get chapters first to start with a few chapters, and then as we receive a more complete document, we'll send you the entire thing. But that work session is currently planned for sometime in potentially April. April 8th is the day we're shooting for. It will be during the day, just because it will take several hours to go through. So if you plan to be there, or you would like to be there, I would go ahead and look at having that date available now.
You have a location? You have a location?
It should be at the carriage house at the Penn House is what we've discussed. I have talked to the economic development and marketing team about holding that location. Depending on the format, we may conduct it here. But I have held the Penn House, carriage house as well.
8 to 1,
I'm sorry?
8 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
That's what's proposed right now, unless that changes.
Will you let us know definitely? Okay,
Yes. Yeah, I just wanted to put it on your radar.
Absolutely, I just put it on there
That's
tentatively.
the date that we're going with.
Right.
The time and location may be a
Okay.
little bit flexible, but that is the
That's
date
the
that we
date.
would like to go to, even if the consultant can't be there.
Right.
Staff will help facilitate that and give that presentation. And if you have the material ahead of time, it should just be answering your questions,
Mm-hmm.
clarifying a few things. We'd like to get you the material as soon as possible.
In your feedback from the developers, has their comment been that our UDO or whatever you want to call our ordinance stuff, has that been a big problem that they have brought up?
It has not, no. Generally speaking, I have not received feedback about any of our processes or the physical written ordinance, the law itself. What I received was that the market is hard right now. It's hard to move land, it's hard to move houses. I can't speak to that in detail, that's not my profession, that's not my field of expertise. But that is the feedback I received, is that the market is not conducive to sales and development right now. Additionally, the cost of development has gone up, materials, labor, there's a labor shortage. And then looking at Reidsville, generally speaking, as we get more commercial development, I think we'll see more of that residential development happening. But nothing specific to our
That seems
ordinances.
to, but from what I hear, I'm also hearing, well, we can't get the commercial because you don't have the right residential, you don't have the right mixture. So this sounds like a chicken and egg.
It very much is, depending on which developer you speak with. Some like to come to places where there's more established commercial. Some say commercial follows rooftops. People follow rooftops, and that's kind of the age-old planning philosophy, is that if you build the houses, they will come, and then the jobs will come, and the services will come. Some developers have a different opinion, and they would like to build in established commercial areas. Not to say we aren't established, but we don't have as many services as some of the neighboring communities do, and we're working on that. Our economic development team is working on that. I can't tell you what their processes are, but there are things in motion with staff and with the development community to make it happen. But it hasn't been that our ordinance is a hindrance. I have not heard that feedback.
Is it our infrastructure that's part of the problem? You
I
know,
haven't-
like sewer, and I know that's been a sore subject, and
I have not heard that feedback
Water.
either. And I know there are individuals in the community that would beg to differ, but that is not the feedback that I got from directly speaking with the development community. We do have a few capacity issues that, city's working on, pump station upfits and things like that, but nothing has been brought to my attention from the developers that I spoke with about capacity or infrastructure.
and can some of that be shared with us maybe after the city council retreat?
Certainly, yes, I plan to bring you a more thorough update at our next meeting, and I can put the feedback that we received from the retreat into a memo essentially and send it out to you if you'd like. I don't know what level of detail we'll discuss tomorrow and Friday at that council retreat meeting, but I can certainly speak to you one-on-one if you'd like further detail.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Terry. Oh, you got a question?
Talking about developers and future developing,
Sure.
and how come I got a call yesterday about a possible development on Sherwood? Is there anything, I know several months ago, I saw a pickup truck that had Surveyor Engineering, some company logos on the side, on that wooded area down there. If you're coming from Richardson, after you go down the hill and start that straight stretch. And so I got a phone, what's going on over there? Are they going to develop? I said, I don't know. I hadn't heard a thing
Was
about it.
Lynn Beal
And I do know that I've seen somebody over there, it's a surveyor.
So we had approved a while back, I think it was a conditional rezoning, which is why it came to y'all, for approximately 40 to 50 single-family homes. It's in the watershed, so it was clustered closer together. It may be that that project is, the surveyors you're seeing are out there for that project, because we have received feedback that they will be moving forward as well.
Is Popeye still coming or is that gone?
Without getting too far into the Popeyes debacle, We have spoken to representatives twice now as staff, and both times we have received feedback that they will be developing in Reidsville. It is forthcoming in the near future. And that is all I have to say about Popeyes.
Okay.
So that contradicts what we're
What's
seeing.
going on, yeah.
Other information that's in the community, I don't want to speak on where their resources are coming from. All I can speak on is what staff has heard directly from the individual listed on the applications that we received for this development
Good.
I must ask, how recent has that conversation been?
within the last week,
Good.
certainly.
Any other questions for Drew? Any other questions?
And that you can kind of speak to?
Nothing that you're not already aware of. I mean, I can give you an update on a few things. So Freedom Academy, we're working through the very final stages of approval for that. So you should see the Freedom Academy coming online very soon. I was a little bit shocked when I got some numbers about the cost of investment for that project. We're talking millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Is that the one on Van Street?
It is,
Okay.
yes. So that is a very exciting development that we're looking forward to. And we'll talk about that at council retreat again. And I'll include all these updates in the memo I sent you following council retreat. Like I said, not to spill too much of the tea before we have that meeting, but yep, they're moving along. So we hope to see that school come online soon. That would be great. From last month, the Mount Jubilee project, that's trucking right along, so that will be a few commercial spaces there or retail spaces in that mixed-use building that they proposed, so that's exciting.
I missed that. Well,
Mount Jubilee from
yeah,
last
yeah,
month.
yeah.
And if you didn't get your Dunkin' Donuts coffee today, you should go to Dunkin' Donuts, they opened up today.
Oh, good.
If they're full.
They are open, yes. I saw
Good.
people in posts
Oh,
all day
good.
long on social media of Dunkin' Donuts coffee. So please
Okay.
go and support Dunkin'
Good.
and get your coffee if you indulge in the caffeinated beverages.
The avocado toast is good.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if their food is being served yet, but I did
Oh,
see
okay,
lovely
coffee.
drinks.
Good, good.
So that's exciting. I know they've kind of had it there and they've had it not operating for a while now and have gotten the thumbs up from us. So it was exciting to see people enjoying coffee and shopping at the Walmart.
Good
Yeah.
deal. Good deal.
That's really all I have. Unless you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have for staff.
When can we get a new call list?
When can we get
I've
a
already
new
talked to
what?
him.
I'm sorry.
Call list?
Claudia's.
Contact list?
Yeah, she.
We'll have our staff update that. Yes, yes, sir. Yep. And I don't know if we also need to update the attendance sheet. I feel like we did
It's
that.
updated.
Okay. Okay. Yep. So we'll just get you a new contact list. We get that from the city administrative office of the city manager, and we'll include an updated one. And I'll send it out digitally too. We'll make a reminder to send it digitally to you.
I think that's all. The old Libby Hill, is that developed, is that underway? I know it's gonna be the market, the Hispanic market.
I haven't seen much activity out there.
Okay.
I've seen a few trucks just in passing
Right.
by, but I haven't really heard of a lot of activity.
Okay.
Looked like they were out there maybe looking at mechanical stuff or
Okay.
something on the roof a few days back, last week.
Okay.
So I do think that that project's moving forward.
Good.
We didn't have to conduct any sort of major plan review, its existing structure. So once we issued that permit,
That'd be
we don't get a lot of updates
Right.
on the project. But I have seen some people out there working, and I've noticed some vehicles and activity.
What's gonna be there?
The Hispanic market?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very exciting as well.
Okay.
Yeah. If you've never had fresh baked goods from like a Hispanic market or a mercado, they're very
They're
good.
good.
So,
Last but not least, you heard anything about the old Golden Corral building? I've heard that's gonna be a million different, it's gone from a,
I saw some
From
people
the
out
steak.
there last week, week
from
before,
Longhorn
couple
to a
pickup
Golden.
trucks sitting out there and 2 or 3 guys walking around looking, but I don't know what they were doing or anything.
Drew said he-
That's all I've seen.
nothing
Nothing
that
in
I've heard of. Nope, it's still just sitting with a blue roof. So I don't know.
I think the concern is it's abandoned, and that's just, that doesn't speak well for the city to have a structure.
Keeps the yard up though.
Abandoned property certainly never speaks well for the
Yeah.
city. Now, I wouldn't know if I would necessarily go so far as to say it's abandoned, because it is being maintained to an extent. I mean, the roof being put on it was a big step towards maintenance. Now, is it being actively occupied or marketed? I can't speak to that, but
Right. Yeah.
they are keeping it in a
I guess I should
state
say
of-
unoccupied is.
Yeah, unoccupied.
Yeah, because they're maintaining it.
They are maintaining it, yeah, I mean, they keep it trimmed up to an extent around it, they put the roof on it. I think they do care about the structure and the property.
Right.
I just don't know if it's being marketed for sale or if there are future plans, staff hasn't been made aware.
I think that's all. Any other questions? Thank you, Drew, for your report. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, at this time, any planning board member comments? No? Everybody good? Okay. If not, would someone entertain a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Okay, all in favor? All right. Meeting adjourned.